Hi, I'm Jay Bowman with FMI, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with you some of the major observations from the Q3 CIRT survey. Scores dropped dramatically from Q2 to Q3, from 64.1 to 51.4. This represents the fourth consecutive decline in scores since the high set in 2021. Moreover, this is now a 35% retreat year over year. Now, concerns are obviously reflective of the economic issues that are going on, which have intensified in the latter part of this year, particularly as the Federal Reserve has become much more aggressive from a rate perspective, which is resulting in business investment drawing back as well as consumer spending, all which is adding to the continued market volatility and greater uncertainty as we head into 2023. FMI currently forecasts the recession to be somewhere between 12 to 18 months, bottoming out between Q1 and Q3 of 2023. This is slightly longer than the 10-month average recession that we experienced from 1945 to 2001. Now, the majority of survey respondents, 52%, agree with this sort of outlook or scenario. Yet there's a significant number, 40% of survey respondents, that think it might actually be milder and slightly shorter, maybe more in that 10-month range, which really coincides with our better case. Despite this backdrop, most survey respondents remain optimistic, although slightly less so over the last couple of months, about their backlogs and business operations near term. Longer term, those concerns do mount, largely because of labor shortages and continued material pricing increases. Of course, concerns vary by end market. On the design side, there's more concern about residential worsening over the next few quarters, but by comparison, consulting, planning, and transportation actually improving or increasing in demand. On the construction side, commercial and office are the ones that seem to be worsening according to survey respondents, but manufacturing, industrial, public works, and transportation actually increasing. What these reflect are what we consider to be the concept of new economy versus old economy. Now, of course, this has economic undertones, but it also includes demographic, technological, and just societal changes overall, just where things may be headed. When you think of the markets where we would see continued growth, regardless of what type of economic environment we may be in. This includes things like life sciences, logistics, food and beverage manufacturing, semiconductors, data centers, and on the infrastructure side, intelligent transportation systems, urban mass transit, and even the new power systems like battery, district energy sources, etc. As I mentioned, on the construction side, with those concerns in commercial and office, those are in that old economy segment. Because if you think about what are the underlying drivers of demand in some of these segments, well, in commercial and office, these are much more economically driven versus data centers or semiconductors being somewhat driven by things outside of the economy or beyond the economy. But even in some of these old economy sectors like lodging, office, commercial, retail shopping, etc., those things really come down to the old real estate adage of location, location, location. Meaning where you are, you could still see growth in some of those old economy segments. So what strategic decisions are survey respondents prioritizing as a result of all what we're seeing, not only in this survey, but from an expectation standpoint for 2023? Well, three intriguing ones that rise to the top, in my opinion, are one, more selective bidding, being very selective about what types of projects, what clients we may be pursuing. Number two is actually from a diversification standpoint. We mentioned new economy versus old economy, and we're seeing more of that being prioritized in the sense of looking where may those opportunities be. And then last, alternative procurement, particularly in light of what we're seeing from a material pricing standpoint. Again, I thank you for the opportunity to share with you again some of these major observations and takeaways. We look forward to discussing this with you in greater detail, as well as how these may change for Q4. Thank you very much.